I love the Treehouse of Horror episodes from The Simpsons. Like most people, I think they're thrilling, they're a fun break from the usual narrative structure. But for some reason, I do not like Treehouse of Horror 3, and I don't know why. Because it's basically the same as the others insofar as the narrative structure, the type of horror, and it was quite funny now and again, but I found it to be very unmemorable. I think that's more the case. It's not that I didn't enjoy watching it in the moment. I don't really think there are many episodes of The Simpsons that I don't actually enjoy. But it was unmemorable. And I watched it about. I'd seen it before, but I watched it again about 2 weeks ago. I'm currently binge watching The Simpsons quicker than I can review the episodes. But I watched it about 2 weeks ago, and I sat down and I went to review it, and I thought, I don't remember watching this. I genuinely could not remember it. So I sat down again just now to watch it. And even having just finished it, obviously I can remember what I've just watched, but there's so little to it that I found interesting that it, for some reason, I just think it's really unmemorable. The first narrative, I won't go into too much detail insofar as spoiling anything, but the first narrative is about a killer Krusty the Clown doll. Love the concept. I'm scared of clowns. I love horror films about killer dolls, especially when they're done well. So incorporating this into a Treehouse of Horror was something that I enjoyed. A little killer Krusty works quite well. Out of the 3 segments in this one, that one's definitely my favourite. The second one, I didn't actually like. I won't say too much, but it involves Marge and a giant ape. Kind of a King Kong-esque vibe here. And to be honest, I liked the fact that it was focusing on Marge, because often the Treehouse of Horror episodes don't neglect her as such, but certainly she's not always at the centre of the narrative. So I liked the fact that she was here. But the narrative itself, I thought, wasn't that great, wasn't that well developed. Well enough animated, of course, that's always the case, usually the case at least. But the narrative, the little segment, just didn't work for me. And the third one is Bart raising the dead. Love the idea, and we do get to see some fabulous animation with some of the characters in their new dead personas. Absolutely love that aspect 100%. The narrative, though, wasn't as thrilling as it could have been. So I definitely think that this is a very mediocre installment of Treehouse of Horror. It's not bad as such. I wasn't watching it thinking, well, that sucked, that wasn't funny, why did they make that decision? I just feel like when I reflect on it, it isn't very entertaining compared to the other ones. Maybe if we had no other Treehouse of Horrors and this was quite unique and fresh, then sure. But because I know they can do so much better, and I know that they can do better Treehouse of Horrors, I just feel like this is a bit of a weak link.